Welcome to the Finding Awareness YouTube channel. And today's audience question is, will my relationships change if I undergo a process of self-transformation? Will my relationships change if I undergo a process of healing, walk the path of self-awareness, or walk the spiritual path, whatever you want to call it? The answer is absolutely yes. Why? Because our relationships with outside, other people, and the world are an extension of our relationship primarily with ourselves. We don't see the world as it is. We don't see other people as they are. We see other people as we are. For example, if I'm hurt, okay, if I'm traumatized by some memory, if somebody left me and I have had a bad breakup, or if I was laid off from my job, or if my parents were not nice to me, caring when I was growing up, if my family was dysfunctional growing up, then I am carrying a lot of hurt, a lot of fear, a lot of anger, anguish, regret, resentment, all of that I'm carrying within myself. So other people, even though they may not be threatening, appear as threats. If I am afraid in myself, then I create threats where there may not be threats. I work with somebody in the office who doesn't want to bother me, but the very presence they have is threatening, because when they come into my presence, they remind me of somebody, and now I'm scared of them. See, so it's not about my relationship with them, it's about my relationship I have with myself. I go out on the date, or I enter a relationship with somebody, I get married with someone, is the same story. My relationship in my marriage or in my partnership is reflective of my relationship with my parents. See, so it is all in my own mind. So when I walk the path of self-awareness, when I walk the spiritual path, when I walk the path of psychology, self-understanding, what have you, I begin to understand my own pain. I begin to understand what is really causing my fear. I begin to look at the belief systems I have in place, which are a result of those fears. I begin to question those belief systems, transform those belief systems. As I go through this process, step by step by step, I begin to really change who I am. I begin to change the relationship I have with my own past. So we can go one step further. My relationship with others is not just my relationship with myself, but also my relationship with my own past. If I accept my past, then I accept myself and I can accept other people. If I reject my past, or I have problems with my past, then I have problems with other people, and I have problems also with myself, obviously. So the answer is absolutely. So what is the result of that? If I go through this process, if I change my habits, if I change the way I think, what will happen? Let's say with friendships, certain friends you have who do not align with you now, whose habits or whose the way of thinking or the way they talk or the way they live their life doesn't resonate with you anymore, will begin to feel like a problem in your life. They will begin to feel like burdens. They will begin to feel as if you want to now spend time alone and not spend time with them. So you will want to distance yourself with them, which is perfectly normal. That does not mean you are being disrespectful to somebody. That just means that who you are is undergoing a change, and therefore your relationship with them is undergoing a change. Maybe you begin to have a different kind of conversation with your parents. Maybe you don't get along with your mother anymore. Maybe you don't get along with your father anymore. Maybe you don't want to just listen to whatever they say. Maybe you want to challenge them a little bit more. Maybe you want to push back on their ideas. Maybe you complain to them. Maybe you say, you have always been doing this to me since I was a child. Say, Mommy, this is not the way you treat your children. You have been saying certain things to me, that I'm not good looking, or I wear clothes a certain way, my hair is a certain way, you see, and all these comments that parents make, that I'm not intelligent, that I'm not as good as my older sister or my older brother, etc. So this is not the way you treat your children. This is not the way you talk. And certain things will happen, will be said, because of which your relationship appears to destabilize with your parents, with your friends, even at work. Sometimes you resign because you just cannot handle those people anymore, or you talk back to your manager, which, do it by all means. The thing is, we have to understand that when my relationship internally changes, other people are going to question me. Other people are going to feel as if I'm moving away from them. Some friends may say, "Oh, you don't call me anymore." Your parents may say, "You have changed," or "You have become over smart," or you have grown wings. You don't respect us anymore." And all of that is okay, because what is happening is their identities are now being challenged because our identity is changing. You see, the way identities work, social identities, is my identity is always in relationship to the identities of people around me. So I am like a piece of a jigsaw puzzle where whatever I am doing in my life, the way I think, the place I work in, the kind of relationships I have, and in the general personality that I have, is always playing into the identities of my friends around me, my parents, my siblings, the people I work with. Everybody's identities in some ways are tied to what I'm doing. When I fundamentally change, other people, because I am one of the pieces of their puzzle, has moved, the jigsaw puzzle has moved. See, if the puzzle moves, they don't know their position anymore. If you have an elephant in a puzzle and you remove the tail of the elephant, or you remove the horns of the tusks of the elephant, or you remove the ears of the elephant, suddenly the whole picture does not make any sense, right? So everybody feels discomfort that you are changing, and that's okay, because eventually they readjust. Eventually your friends will come around. Eventually your parents will accept and understand your new way of being. Eventually anybody who really loves you will come to understand you. So this is actually to be expected. If your relationships are not changing, that actually indicates that you're not going through a fundamental transformation. So yes, your relationships will fundamentally change, and that's a good thing. If you enjoy these questions and answers, put your question in the comments below and I'll try to answer them in my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.